Hey everybody! On this episode of Gaming and Collecting, me and Alex are going to be going over the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games series, kind of going over the history of the games and some of the more wacky natures of this crossover that everybody wanted but nobody asked for. And on that, everybody, on with the episode. So how you been? It's rude not to answer.
I don't feel like it. I don't feel like answering today.
Uh,
How
it's
how have you been?
it's only
You're glowing
Wednesday.
sign.
It's only Wednesday, and it feels like it's already been like an eternity this week.
It's Wednesdays, my dude. Have you seen that Vine? Do you
No,
remember Vine? You never saw the one with the guy in the Spider-Man suit? He literally
the
just goes, "It's Wednesday, my dudes," and he just like screeches.
my only Vine experience was watching you occasionally brain rot yourself in the kitchen for like hours on end.
And I still do that today with Reels. Not
Yeah,
TikTok. It's banned,
yeah, it's
or
getting
they're
banned
banning
pretty
it.
soon. I've
You know what the
I
irony part of that though is
what?
everyone's downloading the actual Chinese version of TikTok, which is like Redline, and people have started making accounts and stuff.
Because it's exactly what they wanted when they created that shit. They brainwashed them all, and now they're obsessed. Like,
Honestly, I think Reels is fine. It's basically the same. Maybe like it's easier to edit on like the TikTok app or something, but I don't know. I just watch. I feel like the Reels are more unhinged too. Like I find a lot of weird shit on there. Slade knows.
I don't know how many times at work, like one of my coworkers will be like, "Have you seen this new trend?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Well, it's from TikTok." I'm like, "Well, there's the reason why I haven't seen it." Um, because I don't give a fuck about TikTok. So
Yeah, I deleted TikTok a while ago. I made one TikTok where I stuck my finger in the wax melt and then just posted that. It actually got a few likes. It was
because
weird.
people on TikTok watch the dumbest fucking shit.
It was really fucking dumb. And then like I got nervous and I deleted it in my TikTok because it made me anxious. Because I didn't know all these people. I'm like, who the fuck are these people? Bill just muted. Bill just farted on the pod. That's why he muted.
All right, next time you burp, I'm leaving it in.
No, sorry. He coughed. He coughed. He didn't fart. It was just me being a jerk. I'm sorry. Please edit out all the future burps. Thank you.
Anyways, yeah, this week's been shit. I think I'm coming down with a cold, so that's always fun.
Ugh. Stay
Um,
away. Stay in your home, gremlin. Cold gremlin. Well,
yeah,
you do sound a little congested.
I felt like garbage at work all day, so that's fun.
I also felt like garbage at work all day, but that's just I'm at the point. I'll just be honest. I'm at the point where I hate my job again.
Welcome to the club. It seems to be a recurring thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
But hey,
yeah,
we
it's
got stress balls.
yeah. Alex has gone through three of them.
No, I have only killed one, and this one is still. I can still squeeze it. I just have to be wary of the goo drippy spot. You see it? The goo drippy spot.
You
Goo. But I like this one because of the noises it makes.
enough.
No, I'm still mad that Soul Leveling Dub is not coming out yet. I'm hoping that it comes out this week. Most people were speculating 2 weeks, but I'm annoyed. The dub's been done. Why are they doing this? I don't want to watch it in the sub. I'm committed to the dub already.
You know what sub did come out?
My Happy Marriage.
Yep, first two episodes. So I watched those.
Is it dubbed?
Yeah, So they're
You
not
said
they're
sub.
no dub. They're not doing the whole.
Did you brain fart for a second?
I don't even know.
No, they didn't do that the last time either. They didn't release the
Oh,
whole series at once.
well,
They
I
do it.
watched it after it was done. So
Yeah, well, I thought that I watched it was done, and then I realized that there was like 3 more episodes, and I was like, "Fuck, I want to watch them." So
yeah,
I've been catching up on One Piece. I've been rewatching my favorite arcs, and now I was like, but now I'm like, okay, I need to get caught up with everything going on in the most recent one, Egghead. So I skipped to my favorite, well, to like the ending of Wano with Gear 5, baby. Gear 5. So I'm rewatching that. But I've been
nice.
just bouncing around through my favorite arcs because I realized I neglected One Piece quite a bit last year. So, still haven't watched Dragon Ball. I kind of feel like I'm spite. I just don't want to. Just kidding. I'll want. It's just like Attack on what now? You
You
should
don't
make one
watch.
for Dragon Ball. Dragon who? Did
Uh,
you hear that? Did you hear that?
what's wrong with you?
Why does it sound like that?
It's been fucking cold this week.
It's gonna warm up this weekend.
Oh boy.
Well, me and my biker gang are hoping to get a bike ride in this Saturday before it rains. And then Sunday it's apparently gonna snow. So you know what that means.
I don't know what that means because it's New England. That could mean anything.
Yeah, I don't know. It may not snow, it may snow, I don't know. I know our parents were planning to come up and visit though, so I don't know if that's gonna happen anymore.
I don't know. Um, Depends on the day.
What have you been playing any games? Or have you
Um,
just been relaxing because you haven't felt good?
this week, well, I mean, I recorded 3DO yesterday.
Oh,
Monday, I watched the 2 episodes of My Happy Marriage that were out.
nice.
And the dub stops right at that point where I'm like, God damn it.
Oh, is like the sub already out?
No, but like the ending of the second episode was like, holy fuck.
Oh, okay. So it's just like it's only the first. Okay, you're confusing me. So it's only the first 2 episodes are out.
Yeah, because
Okay,
Netflix just releases all the languages whenever they do.
okay. That's what was confusing me. Well, that's what annoys me about the soul leveling thing. Is because like they have it and they're just not releasing it, and it's annoying.
Well,
Well, no, it's because
Daima's
they want to make everyone watch it twice.
yeah. Also, Daima's been like off for like a while now. Like it's like episode 1 just came out, but there's already like at least like over 10 episodes.
Mm.
No, I did. Yeah, I watched those. I saw Sakamoto Days. The first episode came out. I have to watch that as well.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen so many people complaining about the animation, and from the clips I've seen, I don't get it. I
It's
don't get why they're
because
complaining.
I swear to God, we like live in like an era of animation snobs now, where like if everything isn't Mappa perfect, they just complain about it.
Yeah, but even like the Mappa stuff isn't perfect.
I know because they work them to the bone there.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know. People
it
bitch about
looked
it.
fine to me. I thought it looked really good for anime. I mean, it also like wasn't like the scene that I saw. I mean, like it was very well animated, but it also I didn't think it necessarily needed like that amazing. Oh, like if it had the animation that they put in for Gear 5, it would have been like, why are they doing this for like one
Well,
scene?
Sakamoto Days has the artist and writer for Sakamoto Days. He's very inspired by Fujimoto from Chainsaw Man. Like,
Hmm.
there's some pretty extreme stuff he draws. Um, so I maybe they're just like purists, but I
The
don't
scene
fucking know.
that I saw that that it seemed like everyone was complaining about. I did not see any reason to complain about that. Like it was literally like a guy like he was flicking like a gumball or
Yes,
something, and I'm just like I I could get if it was like on the level of some of those Chainsaw Man scenes, but this scene, I feel like it was not. It was fine. I don't know why people
People
were so mad.
people just like to bitch about everything, I swear.
Yeah.
It's like the world could be absolutely perfect and someone would still find something to complain about.
Um. What you drinking? Hopefully not an alcoholic beverage if you're not feeling good, Bill.
No, it's only Wednesday, Alex. I am
Okay.
drinking
I don't know your life.
I'm drinking a
Bill, put the music on.
I'm drinking a sparkling ice.
All right, give us a fact.
Bubbles with benefits.
Ooh, that's something for Bill. We
That
will
sounds
take it.
disturbing.
All right, give us a different fact.
Colors and flavors from natural sources.
That's good to know.
And it's
Any
got a
others?
QR code.
Ooh, you want to scan it?
Not
See
right.
where it leads you? All right, rank your drink because I realized that on the first episode I said I was going to incorporate ranking and then I forgot about it the very next one. So Bill, rank your beverage on a scale of whatever you want.
I'm pretty sure I had that exact same thing, so whatever I said before, probably
No. Come up with a new scale. Rank it based on a scale of 1 to 27 Dreamcasts. How many Dreamcasts would you rank it on a scale of 1 to 27?
26.5.
That's really good. That's really good. Are you gonna ask me what I'm drinking?
Do I even have to ask? You're just going to say it anyways.
Ask me right now.
What are you drinking,
I'll be
Alex?
angry.
I am drinking a Snapple zero sugar raspberry iced tea. Naturally flavored with that sentence is kind of weird. It says naturally flavored with other natural flavors.
Redundancy.
That's a really redundant sentence.
What's
okay.
your little trivia question on the cap? That's the only thing anyone cares about.
No, we're not done yet. 10 calories per bottle.
Right, we don't need to go.
It also says 10 calories, and then it says low calorie right next to it. I also feel like it's a little redundant. I think by reading 10, I know it's not very high in calories. 20 fluid ounces. That's 1.25 pounds. Pints? PT. What's PT? Is that pints? Anyways, 591
You don't
milliliters.
need to go this in depth.
Yes, we do. The serving size is 1 bottle. 0 fat, 15 grams of sodium. There's 1 gram of sugar. I'm so sorry. Wait. Oh no, there's 1 gram of carb. I was about to say this is 0 sugar. Why is there sugar? There's 1 gram of carb.
Anytime something says 0 sugar, it's probably lying. All
right.
I don't trust anything.
What's the fact?
What's the trivia question under there?
It's a fact. It's a
Whatever.
real fact. 1,635. San Francisco is built on more than 50 hills. Is it also on fire currently?
Is that actually what it says, or did you make a joke?
No, it says San Francisco is built on more than 50 hills.
Oh, did you add the fire part?
Well, yeah, isn't it?
How?
It's kind of sad. Oh, it's not? Okay, good. I'm glad that it's not.
No, I don't know. I'm not following that anymore. All I know is California's on fire. I feel bad for all the innocent people.
Good. I'm glad you feel bad. Let me see it. There's also a QR code on my bottle. And the bottle's made from 100% recycled plastic. What?
Oh, good. They found it out of the garbage.
No.
Your bottle's made of trash. Recycled trash.
To shake it. Then
I don't want to hear about you shaking.
Shake it, then shake the bottle too. Settling is natural.
You shake it and then the bottle.
Yeah, that's what it's. There's a lot of redundancy on here. That's what I'm.
All right,
Snapple, what are you doing?
enough of that.
No, no,
Um,
no. Keep the music going. It's fine. Uh-oh, Bill's dying. Bill's dying.
um, so we do have a topic for this episode. This is a very interesting one.
The
This,
history of
well,
potato chips.
this started out as a potential games that shaped us and then evolved into its own thing very quickly.
Yeah.
So for this episode, we're actually going to be talking about the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games franchise.
Yes.
What I like to call the crossover that everybody wanted but nobody asked for.
Yes. Well, I think for a while people have always enjoyed Sonic. They've always enjoyed Mario, and there was
Well,
always that battle in the
they were the
beginning of the
rivals.
console.
Like that was like the crossover that people always wanted, a Mario and Sonic game.
Yeah.
And when we finally got one, it ended up being Olympics.
Yeah.
Um, which I got it, the Wii, because it came out on the Wii at the time, and that was all the rage, make mini game compilation party games. But
Well, it's pretty interesting to read like how it actually happened.
well,
Because it was actually
because
Sega acquired. So I mean, the Olympics basically reached out to Sega and was like, "Hey, you want to make any licensed games featured around the Olympics?" And Sega was like, "Yeah, sure." But then, like, as they acquired the license, they also were like, "Hey, Nintendo, why don't we also include Mario?" So originally it was only going to be a Sega thing. It probably would have
well,
only been
yeah,
for the Sonic or the Sega characters. But then Sega was like, "Hey, let's make a bigger bang for our buck and go in on this together."
it's actually really interesting because these games are made like 100% by Sega. Like Sega Sports R&D actually made the first game, and then Sega different Sega internal studios made all the other ones. Like Nintendo literally just licensed their characters and they published the game only in Japan. All of
Yeah,
the other regions of the world, Sega published the game, which is very interesting.
yeah.
Also, a little known thing is like some people don't realize this, but this isn't actually the first collaboration between Nintendo and Sega.
Well, is it the first one between Mario and Sonic though?
It's the first Mario and Sonic collaboration, technically.
Mhm.
But if you want to count Sega and Nintendo working together, the first true compilate collaboration that really was significant was F Zero GX, which was the the lone entry of the F Zero series, also like the last like real major entry in that series, released for the GameCube, which was it's a Nintendo franchise, like 100% Nintendo owned.
Mhm.
But that particular version was developed by a studio called Amusement Vision, which was responsible for making the Monkey Ball series, and that is a Sega owned studio. So Sega technically
Oh.
made what is considered the best F Zero game. Think about that one for a minute there.
That's pretty interesting. I didn't know that. So I
Well,
guess
it's
that was the first crossover, but it was kind of only if you knew you knew it was. But if
yeah,
you
well,
didn't,
because unfortunately, not a lot of people played F Zero GX because it is one of the most brutally hard racing games you will ever play.
so I who
You would
sucks at
hate it.
racing games, yes,
Oh, you it is an amazing game, but it is punishing how hard it is at
great.
times.
I love games that make me angry.
You wouldn't even make it past the first race. You would just rage quit immediately.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But yeah, the Olympic Games thing was like kind of out of nowhere when it got announced, like around 2007, I want to say.
Yeah. Well, it just seems like the Olympics were just like, hey, like let's do a partnership to promote the Olympics, make some money between all of us, and Sega bought, and then they said, "Ooh, let's do the crossover everyone wanted, but not
Hmm.
what they actually wanted."
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, like some of the ideas for the crossover, like were discussed between the two companies at the time.
Hmm.
Because apparently, like there were prior discussions about a crossover before the whole Olympics thing came into effect. Because apparently, Sonic team leader Yuji Naka, other known as our resident convicted felon Yuji Naka, um, yeah, he's an interesting character. And then Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto had actually had meetings, like just discussing potential ideas before the whole Olympics idea came about when Sega got the Olympics rights.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, the first Mario and Sonic Olympic Games game was the original Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
Mhm.
Uh, 2007 for the Wii and DS.
Yep. But it came out in 2007, but it was based on the 2008 Beijing Olympic Summer Games.
Yes, like these are all licensed like by the Olympics, and they actually do feature like all of the events and stuff that were going on at the time, which I
Mm.
find very interesting. It was more interesting at the time because nowadays I'm jaded and I don't give a fuck about the Olympics, but um, back in the day though, it was kind of cool until I realized real fast that these were party games and not fun platformers like everyone wanted.
Did we have any? I know I had a couple of the DS games, but did we have any of the Wii games?
We had the first one. We
So
never
we had this
owned
one.
Yeah, we never owned any of the other ones, but we did play them because I swear to God, everybody had these games.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they were
because
probably party games. Parents said, "Ooh, two games that they like into
well,
one."
you got to
Olympics.
think about it. We got the Wii right after it launched, so right around 2007, and this was probably just a game that was present, like very up in front, and it was probably mom saw it and went, "Oh, okay," and grabbed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Mario and Sonic, it's not a bad party game by any means, but it is very much a party game that you play it once and then it loses its luster very quickly as you play it.
Yeah, I know from having the DS versions as well. Um, it was like okay, I played it once. I was like, all right, that was a thing. Moving on.
Yeah,
uh,
it was just really weird like that. Like, excuse me.
bless
Um,
you.
like I always remember too, like the attention to detail on certain things I always found really amusing. Like I always remember in the swimming events, that you Sonic would have like a life vest because Sonic canonically can't swim. But
It
then
would
you
be
get the
funny
re-
if you just pick Sonic and then you just lose automatically because it's Sonic.
well, I think he is the slowest swimmer. Um,
Good.
what's funny though is like because of the way the game works, you can pick any character and like theoretically win. So like you can do like the 100-meter dash as fucking Eggman, and it's fucking hilarious.
It's all just based on what you have. Or like Bowser.
Hmm. They're technically power characters, but they if you're good enough at the mini game, you can win with them in the runs, and it's really funny. Just watching Eggman do half this shit is just funny.
Do you remember the commercials for these games?
I remember the London 2012 commercial vividly because of
Yes.
one reason, and it is the scene with Luigi riding the horse. And I remember you going, "It's the horse!" And I remember
Well,
you being like, "I want this game," and then you forgot about it after like a day, and you never brought
well,
it up again.
some of the stuff that they would do too is they would put like they'd have like the people in the costumes. Like they'd have people in these like not very good looking Mario and Sonic costumes doing some of the Olympic stuff or like fighting each other at some point I
Mm.
think was happening. Um but yes, that one of with the stare, the death stare was funny on the
I
horse.
I just always remember because like the trailer for the London 2012 one was like really good CG. It probably was using Sega's like in-house CG studio at the time, which was really good.
Mm.
But I remember because it was showing all the different events, and then it cut to the horse riding, and they had to use Luigi as the poster boy for it, and it is so funny looking. Like it's in the thumbnail for this episode because I had to include it. Um, Also, a weird thing about the London 2012 Wii game is it is the only yellow Wii case.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's for whatever reason it's a yellow Wii case. It's kind of like how New Super Mario Bros. Is a red case.
Hmm. They just decided just this one.
Yeah, and they never
Maybe
did
to
that
make it.
again.
I yeah. Well, and they also so we kind of skipped over it, but they did the Winter Olympic Games as well. So whenever
Mm.
they did the regular Summer Olympics, they always did the winter ones as well. So like the next game that came out was which is funny because like the first two titles just say Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games and Mario and
Yeah,
Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, which I think they did that on purpose of just in case that they did not continue making these games in the future. Um but the later ones actually said what Olympic Games they were within those titles.
that being said, though, the first two do have the little logo up top. You probably can't see it on my phone, not that this video version's coming out, but it does say like for the Winter Olympic Games, it was Vancouver 2010. So
Yeah, but like the titles are just that when I was looking into it.
I
It's
believe
also
if I'm right, Winter Olympic Games is generally seen as like the most popular one. I
ice
think
skating.
maybe
Are you talking
I
about the game in general or
yeah,
just
out of the entire
for the
series,
Olympics?
I believe this one is considered the one that most people enjoyed because it fixed a lot of problems from
With the first one.
because the first game had a lot of classic Wii mini games where you were just like
Shaky
doing
shaky.
um my favorite ones were the ones where you had to shake just the Wii chuck.
Oh boy.
I'm using that forever ever since Rick coined that term in one
The
of our
Wii Chuck?
episodes. Well, it's the nunchuck, but in the controller episode, Rick called it the Wii chuck, and I've just ever since then it's like that's just how I call what I call it now. It's the Wii chuck,
Wii Chuck.
which
That's
has
Wii
motion.
Chuck. I
It
like
has
that.
motion control in it, which I
It
always found weird.
does?
Yeah, because you can
I
shake it by
never knew
itself.
that. That's
Yeah,
weird.
I guess when it's plugged in, it has like a giant, like some sort of motion sensor in it. But
Interesting.
yeah, a lot of the mini games in the first one were very typical, just flail around like a moron.
Typical beginning motion controls of
How do we simulate running? Flail around like an idiot because that's the only way. And then
I
the swimming one was like, let's go swimming, let's
I
go.
think like their goal was that, people would actually like maybe jog in place or something, not realizing that you didn't have to do that. You could just flail. But of course,
Oh, it was like playing Wii Fit and realizing all you had to do was shake the controller up and down.
also off topic, but Dad just sent me a photo of his helpers today.
Aw.
And he calls him, he says he's not the cat whisperer anymore, but that's bullshit because what is that? Anyways, I just had to share. Um, I did have this one. We didn't have it on the Wii, but I did have this on the DS.
The DS one was bizarre because it had a story mode.
Yeah. So it had an adventure mode, which I think was actually like for most of the DS ones, from what I was reading, they all had a story mode.
They were
But
made by a
this,
different studio, I believe. They were made
but
by a studio called Race Gin, I think.
it was the story was that that Bowser and Eggman, since they're the only bad guys, schemed together to capture all the snow spirits in Christmas Village, prompting Mario and Sonic to stop them through the Olympic Games. Uh, it was very dumb, and I never beat it because I said this is boring, and never picked it up again. The DS ones were shit. Like, I'm sorry, like they were awful games. Like
I
those
remember I
Wii games
played
weren't
like
even fun.
I remember I played like 3 minutes of that one just because I wanted to see the story mode, and I was like, "This is dumb," and I just put it down immediately.
Yeah. The London Olympics games was also the first one to go on the 3DS as well, which is the next one in the
Yes,
series.
because it was that brief period of transition where the 3DS was out, but the Wii U still was not.
Yeah, but it also was released on the DS as well. So it's DS, 3DS.
And
Since it was
Wii,
still kind of in between and Wii. It also had a story mode. With Bowser and Dr. Eggman releasing a colorful fog that ruined the Olympics. And the heroes have to get rid of the fog. They're being very creative, can't you tell?
I mean, Sega already at this during this period of time, their story actually 2012. Actually, no, I don't even think Sega made the handheld versions. What am I saying? Um, but yeah, the London 2012 game I believe is also pretty well received. I think that was the last one that was pretty generally people were okay with it
Hmm. Yeah,
because
I kind of feel like at that point we at least like lost any interest, like because we didn't have this game, but I feel like we didn't even really pay attention after this point. Because you didn't
well,
have the Wii U version, did you?
no. So the Wii U version I only know of because of reasons. So we're gonna talk about the mini games more later in depth, but the next game was Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games. That's a fucking mouthful. Um,
Yep.
yeah, during the Sochi Olympics, which I remember was one of the most infamous Olympics. Like that, I think that's where all like the cheating scandals and like just bizarre shit. Like that was the first Olympics where I remember just like all the controversy surrounding it. And I'm like, why do we care about this? Um,
And this one also had only a Wii U release, and there was no
it did.
other games.
So
No Nintendo
this
DS.
this game is actually an interesting footnote in one of Sega's most bizarre periods of time as a company, where
Oh boy.
they made one of the weirdest choices ever. So around this point, Sega had signed a 3-game exclusive deal with Nintendo where they would release 3 Sonic games exclusively for the Wii U, and
Oh.
it was all part of a deal. The first game was Sonic Lost World, a hit or miss Sonic game that the fan base is still kind of um, confused by,
That
which
was the
also
one with like the where the world was kind of like all
parkour,
yeah, and
parkour.
it had like
Um,
the fiends. Was it the one with
yeah,
the fiends? Like the I know
yeah.
there's the green girl and the red guy.
It's not a bad game, but it's also like a weird Sonic game. Which also they broke their rules. They made a 3DS port too, so
Oh, well,
whatever.
well.
Um, the second game was the Olympic Sochi game. Um,
Oh, this counted as it?
yeah, which you could because the well, here's the thing: Sonic Lost World didn't sell well because it was on the Wii U.
Hmm.
Sega realized really quick this was a bad idea. Like this thing is not selling, and these games are tanking. Because Sonic Lost World later got ported to PC. So
Oh, it did?
yeah, um,
Did it do perform better on the PC?
probably not because the game was probably tainted by that point.
Oh,
Um,
womp womp.
and then the final game in the 3-game deal was Sonic Boom,
No! Oh God! Oh yeah, I remember this
which
now.
also had a handheld version with it didn't follow their own rules.
I guess so because it was like a Nintendo. Like they probably were fine.
Well, the funny part is though one of the reasons why Sonic Boom I think ended up being so shit was because of the like the like the 20th hour. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, this has to be a Wii U exclusive. Because
Oh no.
do you remember the Sonic Boom trailer that actually looked good?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that trailer was running off of PC builds,
Oh,
and then
has
they
there
had to
been a PC port?
no. That game is in the dumpster where it belongs.
Yeah,
um,
I always will go back and watch the Game Grumps compilation of them just playing it and just how much of a train wreck that was.
it's like
Oh.
it's not even bad in the sense of like Sonic 06 bad, but Sonic 06 is a much more interesting game just because of how bad it is. Boom is
Hey,
just
yeah,
boring.
well, yeah. I mean, Sonic 06 not only had necrophilia, but it also had what's the animals? People and animals.
Ugh.
Elise, what's worse is that she kissed a dead body or an animal or a dead
We don't.
animal.
It doesn't matter. That game didn't happen. Literally, the end of the game retcons everything.
Good, good.
So,
Every
um,
time they try and do a human, you know what's funny? Chris Thorndike, human, red hair. Elise, human, red hair. What's the connection? Gingers have no. Just kidding.
anyway,
Red
yeah.
hair, so I can say that. I sold my soul.
That being said, though, the let's just say that 3-game deal. It will also just one final note. When I'm sure the team developing Sonic Boom when they were told the game has to be a Wii U exclusive. Um, the Sonic Boom ran off the Cry engine. Um, The Wii U was not native to support the CryEngine at the time. And they had to make a special version of Crytek's CryEngine just to run on the Wii U, and that's why the game runs like absolute ass. Because that game was everything about Sonic Boom was like a disaster. Like
Yeah.
they did that 3 game partnership with Nintendo was an
TV
absolute.
show did great though.
The TV show doesn't count. That was its own thing. But yeah, so
So this was a dark time for Sega.
Oh no, this was the second dark age of Sonic because they had just gotten back like right before Lost World. That was right when Generations happened, and like the series was doing so well, and then they immediately went back to Earth.
They just like knew we're like, all right, time to do what we always do and suck.
Time to do what we always do. We have something that works. We have to change everything and fuck it up.
Sounds about right.
And then they immediately reverted. Then they immediately reverted back 3 games after. So.
Yep. Well.
But yeah, the Sochi game. You know what's funny though? The Sochi Mario and Sonic game. This is like the most nothing out of the entire franchise because nobody talks about this one.
Yeah.
It just kind of happened, and then people forgot about it.
I honestly think a lot of it is just due to the fact that it was on the Wii U.
Yeah, and it also got a 55 out of 100 on Metacritic. It was not well. The highest rating I see here is a 7 out of 10 from Nintendo World Report because that's totally an honest source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the next one after that, they did release the 2016 Rio Olympic Games, which that one came out on the Wii U. The Nintendo 3DS was brought back, but there was also an arcade port.
Yeah.
This one also featured a lot of new characters.
Yes, because the franchises had expanded quite a bit in their years.
Some of these names though, I'm just like, who the fuck are these? Like, who is Wendy, Larry, Roy? Who are these kids?
Those are the Kooplings. They've been around since Mario 3.
I just thought they were the Koopa little shits or something. I didn't know they had names.
They've been around for longer than Sonic has.
Well, clearly I knew the Sonic characters.
I think.
Well, I really there's one character in this game where I've heard sound bits of whenever, like, you know how like in the Olympic Games they're like in like it's always the same voice announcer. It's like Team Sonic, like, you know the voice I'm talking about. Well, Eggman has another character in this game, and every sound bit I've heard doesn't sound right, so I'm not gonna say it. It doesn't sound right.
Oh, you mean the other Eggman?
The other egg. That's what I was trying to say.
I'm not gonna say it just because I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
I've heard the sound clips, and I've just been like, "What?" And then I've been like, "Oh, maybe not a great choice of characters."
Oh, Alex, in the Wii U version, Toad is an exclusive character.
Oh fuck yeah! And that's the only reason to buy the Rio games.
Oh yeah, apparently in this version, motion controls were removed from the majority of events.
What's the fucking point of that?
Yeah.
Maybe they realized that no one really likes motion controls.
I never played this one, so I'm reading this now and I'm like, wait a minute.
When was the Wii U discontinued, by the way?
Like 2017-ish, 2016.
Okay, so this was probably one of the last few games that came out.
Yeah, it was discontinued.
So at this point, they probably realized that motion controls weren't working, and they were like, "Fuck it, we're getting rid of them."
Point? What is the point?
Well, the next game they did make was for the Switch. So.
Oh yeah, the most unfortunate timed Olympics.
Yes. Mario. Anything else for Rio before? Oh, do you want to go into like there was their arcade port?
We can talk about that after.
Okay. Yeah, but the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games in Tokyo 2020. Fun fact, I went to Japan in 2017, 2018. Yeah, I think 2018. Yeah. Because I graduated 2019 and I went my sophomore year, my junior year. And I bought a pin that was a early commemorative pin of the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. That never happened, and
No,
I
they did
keep that as
happen.
like
They
a
just
well, no, but the 2020 on it though.
no,
Like
they still called it the 2020 Olympics. It just happened in 2021.
I just think it's special because I
That's
got
my
it like
favorite.
way before then.
That was like the perfect logo too for the Olympics. The with the Olympic
Mm,
symbol in the 20. Yeah, the world could not have that because the world
nope,
ended that year. Um,
nope, well, nope.
but yeah, this one was the only entry in the series on the Switch.
It's also the last entry of
Yes.
the series. Um, and this one also, I was reading, it also introduced like these 2D events. So like probably these 2Ds above screen or side scroller games that were based on the 1964 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, which is
Mm.
pretty interesting and a nice little nod. It seems like to me they probably went a little above and beyond since I mean Nintendo and Sega are Japanese owned companies, uh, right?
Mm.
So they probably it was their home.
Well,
So
yeah, I mean the 2020 Olympics. As much as I don't care about the Olympics, I mean the freaking I did watch the opening ceremonies where they played fucking Chrono Trigger music. So I mean, and like One
uh,
Piece music, like all that shit. Like that was great.
yes, there was many Olympic that made a One Piece nod that year. So it was a great Olympics. What else?
Hilariously though, like I still think you know what we were robbed of, Alex.
What?
They didn't. So obviously the partnership. This was the final game. We'll explain what happened, but like we didn't get to see the most recent Olympics. Think of the memes.
Oh yeah.
We could have had breakdancing.
Oh
We could have
no.
had breakdancing.
You know what's so sad about that too is that like you watch some of the people that are really good at breakdancing and like that is freaking hard. And that is like really talented skill. And
and
one
then
dumbass
and
from
then
Australia
and
ruined
then
it for
Australia
everyone.
showed up and did whatever the fuck that
I'm
was.
sorry. I was pissed because I mean, I we're going on a tangent now, but this is my only time to rant about this because I'm angry. Like as a dancer, I totally understand that like what they're doing is incredibly hard and a lot of work. In all honesty, it deserves an Olympic sport. And some dumb bitch with their stupid degree made a mockery of it and looked like an idiot. Like she
What you mean?
did. And
This you don't call this breakdancing?
no, she ruined it for a lot of really talented
Oh
people,
yeah,
and honestly,
because
she should go fuck off. Like she
you know breakdancing ain't ever coming back after
no,
that.
she ruined it. You watch a lot of the other clips of the other people who like work their asses off and were very talented, and she makes a mockery of it, and that's a fucking shame. I don't care. She says that she's a good. I looked at clips on her Instagram. She fucking sucked 8 years ago. Why Australia picked her? She sucks. She's terrible. She's a shitty ass dancer. Why they picked her? Stupid, and they ruined it for everyone else.
Because we got the greatest meme of all time out of it.
No, we made a mockery of it. Her laying on the floor and just going, that's not breakdancing. That's
Oh no,
looking
I
like
love the weird like
she was
contortionist act
channeling
she was doing at one point. Like, what the
at,
fuck's happening?
at one point. You know that clip of Homer Simpson where he's like on his side and he's running in a circle. She
Uh,
was channeling. She was channeling her inner Homer, and not in a good way. Like it would have been
well,
funny if she actually made the noise.
it's just a shame because like the
I am
Olympics that
about to pop this stress ball. I'm pissed.
well it's sad too because that was the first Olympics where we actually had interesting shit happen for once, like the fucking shooting segment where we had that one the one lady with like the weird like eye thing and she was like freaking really cool and fun, and then we had the Turkish guy who just was like boom just
How they
done.
both looked like anime characters.
Yeah. Well, I love how she had this high tech shit to do it, and he just like fucking like dead ass, just like boom. And he's apparently a
Also,
cat guy too. So
and like just like there was a lot of really cool moments. Like there was the guy who basically like won like the whole who was brought in for the men's gymnastics for just one event, and he won the event for them.
mm.
Um which was also really cool. And I think it was like Simone Biles last year. I think she said she wasn't going to do it again after that point, but who knows? She'll probably come back. No, there was a lot of really good moments.
And then
And then
breakdancing
that
happened.
fucking idiot.
And then
I'm not over it. Like, she ruined it for everyone. Like, as a dancer, like, it really bothers me because, like, dance should be considered a sport. Like, you have to be really talented. And a lot of the times too, like, coming from that world, like, dance is so subjective. Like, and sometimes it's really not fair because a lot of it is based on judging. It's not like, football where like you score a certain amount of goals and you win. Like, it's all kind of subjective, and for a lot of people it's really hard and it really breaks you down because sometimes you could dance your very best and people could tell you, oh my god, you're gonna win, and oh, this judge, they just don't like you for this reason, and then you don't, and it's like really sucks. So it really did bother me when they did that, like when she did that, because she really did ruin it for a lot of really talented people out there, and she should be ashamed, and I hope she is, and I hope she
no,
quit breakdancing.
she's not. I've seen the interviews where she claims it was fine.
Well, she's
So
a dumb ass bitch, and she should quit breakdancing and get out of there. I hate her. She no, like she ruined it for a lot of people. It takes a lot of skill to do that, and she just made a mockery of it by looking like an
my
idiot.
my favorite part of that is the just the looks from the judges while that's happening, and they're just like
Exactly.
they had no idea what to say. It was so funny.
Like, and then that's the only thing people look at, and they don't look at all the other talented people.
Oh
I
yeah,
just went on a rant.
any other breakdancer that happened there, I don't know any of you because that's the only thing I remember from that
No,
segment.
exactly, and that sucks. So fuck you, Karen. Your name's probably Karen. I don't remember what her name is,
No, her
but
name
she's a
was her.
Karen.
She had like the best name too because it was so fucking dumb. What was it?
I
Now
don't,
this is talk about Mario and Sonic. I'm gonna look this
Doctor
up.
Doctor Miyuta. All right. Let's see what else happened in. There was a story mode in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Where Mario, Sonic, Toad, Bowser, and Dr. Eggman get sucked into a video game based on the Olympic Games of Tokyo 1964, and they have to try and escape as Luigi and Tails figure out how to get them out. So they basically get stuck in their own game that you're playing. So you're playing in-game
Ray
Inception.
Gun. Your name was Ray
Oh,
Gun.
Ray Gun, I hate you. You ruined it for everyone else. Quit and go
The first,
go
the
somewhere
first,
else.
the first fucking Reddit thing is how the hell is breakdancing an Olympic sport?
Yeah, they ruined it. Fuck you, Ray Gun. I hate you.
Ray Gun.
But yeah,
What a
did
name.
you hear what I said? The story mode is basically they get sucked into their own game. And Tails and like Luigi. Why is Luigi? Luigi's not smart. He's stupid and scared.
No,
Tails
no,
and Luigi
it
have to
depends on
figure.
it depends on the continuity. Sometimes he's smart, sometimes he's not.
Well, Tails is smart. Like they could have picked. Well, there's not really anyone else smart in Mario. There's not like smart characters that would be in the game besides like the little Doctor Man from what's his name from the Mario and Sonic game, Partners in Time. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Professor Egad.
Yeah, Egad would be like the only one I could see, but
Calling Egad smart is debatable sometimes.
well, he's a professor, so
See, I just think of like, uh, my brain just shut off for a minute. Where are we?
sorry, I had to cough myself, so I couldn't guide you through your brain fart. Anyways, Rio Olympics was the last one.
No,
Why
Japan,
was it?
Tokyo, Tokyo.
Tokyo Olympics was the last one. Oh yeah, this one also had an arcade. Do you want to go over the arcades?
We'll do that after we talk about the why the Olympic Games stopped.
Well, the series was discontinued. And the reason why it was discontinued was because the IOC, which is the Olympic Committee, basically said, all right, our licensing, we're just not going to renew it. Bye. And they went on to make other things. Including, they wanted to make NFTs, esports, and products that are more money making possibilities. And I think too, it was also they didn't think they would have enough time to come out with a new one as well. They said there were some time constraints, but they also went to coincide with the Paris Games. They actually made a Power Rangers Battle for the Grid Studio Battle for the Grid by Studio Enway. Uh, oh
Yes.
wait, yes, sorry, my brain also isn't working. So, in collaboration with Power Rangers, they developed Olympics Go for the 2020 Paris, which was a mobile game. Which actually makes sense because they probably were also looking at. I mean, mobile games have been on the rise since they came out, and a lot of people really loved playing games 2 inches from their face. I get it.
Yeah, but I
Uh,
highly doubt a lot of people put a lot of time into Olympic
No, but
Go.
they probably made a quick buck off of it and were able to move on. You know, it didn't take as much time to develop. Probably still had. I mean, let's be honest. How many hours do you think anyone put into any of these Wii games and Switch games and Nintendo 3DS games?
I can tell you the first one and the second one, it probably went like this in terms of like how much people cared. It started around here, went up a little. The second one, the third one, it kind of flatlined, and then it was just a steady down
Yeah,
after
but
that.
I'm just talking about in terms of replayability. You know, after like a week with the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games or the Winter Olympic Games, do you think people were going, you know what, I'm going to invest a lot of hours into this game?
Some people did.
Likely. Some
Some
people
people
did,
did.
but for the most part, I don't think people were spending that many hours. And honestly, probably spending the same amount of time as people would put into a mobile game.
Yeah. Um, Going back though a little bit. So the arcade versions of the last two games,
Yes.
very interesting idea. Makes sense because Sega was still had an arcade division at that point.
Hmm.
And they were still making arcade cabinets. So yeah, why not make an arcade version of this?
I was trying to see if there's any
I'm
images of it.
ass- I'm assuming it was probably just a port of the game using.
Uh, no, I don't think so. Look it up because it's actually the arcade system is you actually stand on it. There's a mat, and I think you actually have to actually move and run around.
Well, yeah, they ported it to arcade controls and made it an actual game.
Yeah. So it must have been a little different. I think I remembered seeing this I don't know when this came out. No, I don't think it was. Well, I was
Yeah,
studying.
I can imagine seeing. Yeah, it looks like they basically took the mini games and just converted them to arcade controls. I don't think these ever came out over here. They probably did, but I don't remember ever seeing one.
I don't remember ever seeing one. Oh, you can. Oh, Bill, you want to buy one?
No,
It's 12 grand. 12 grand. You want to buy
I'm
one?
good.
And it looks like it actually was ported to America. So apparently, if there's an arcade out there, you might be able to play this.
I'm good. Um,
Why are you good? You
because
should be great.
the only arcade cabinets I would ever want to own are a Crazy Taxi or no, not a Crazy Taxi, a Daytona
And
USA.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter
No,
Games.
I'd want a
Yes.
Daytona USA or a Clax.
Yes.
Those are the only two arcade cabinets I would want.
Yes. Just tell us the truth, Bill.
So yeah, going through all these, like, which mini games were the highlights for you?
I won't lie. Every time I played these games, they all kind of sucked. So not they were bad. They were
Well,
good games. I'm
you
sorry.
didn't. You know what my favorite was? Like when we would play these games back in the day.
Just be flailing the nunchuck.
Well, no, we'd get like the fun ones, like the hammer throw, and like you'd always throw it into the stands.
Well, yeah, you gotta assault some people.
Or my favorite was like the javelin throw, where like you'd be like so into it, and then you'd go to throw the javelin, it would go like 2 feet in front of you, and you'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Well, yeah, it was never fair. Well, I mean, because it's shitty motion
Well,
controls.
no,
Like,
it's because you didn't read the instructions. You just went gung ho into it, and then we were like, "Why doesn't it
no,
work?" And I'm like, "Cause you didn't follow the fucking
no.
rules."
I always followed the rules. Bill is making a mockery of me.
Because
As
I'd
per
get it
usual.
perfect later, and then you'd be like, "How do you do it?" And I'd be like, "You just follow the rules." It says it right there. And
Bill,
you're like,
I don't care that you're sick. I will cross the street just to punch you.
"Why'd you make me out of lava?"
Why'd you make me out of lava, Bill? realistically see there being any more future Olympic Winter Games for Mario and Sonic. I think that ship has sank, and we're probably not going to see that
Oh,
again.
yeah, because the
But
Olympics ain't gonna license it. Ironically, they could just do a party game of Olympic style games and just not have it be licensed if they really wanted to.
well, that's what I kind of wanted to lead into. Is like, do you think there's any future for any new crossover games for Mario and Sonic?
I mean, the door's always open because you got to remember that Mario Rabbids game
Hmm.
is surprisingly good
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
because it's a tactical RPG and it's actually a game. So there's always potential. I think it's more like Mario. Well, Nintendo's making a new console right now, so they're obviously busy, and
Yeah.
Sega has been the Sonic division of Sega has been doing some soul searching in the last couple of years, and they finally found themselves again. So
I guess so. Another follow-up question: if they were to release something again, what would you like to see?
a platformer.
You'd like to see a platformer.
Like the genre that these series come from. The most obvious thing to make a crossover game off of.
Well,
No, Olympics, totally. That's what we wanted.
knowing how this usually goes, what would be your second choice? Because you're likely not going to get that.
Well,
Karaoke,
no.
dancing,
Give me no,
parts.
no. Give me a real-time tactics game. Just because.
Can you describe what that? What does that mean to the person who doesn't know games?
Okay, fine. Make it a tabletop RPG. just something
Okay.
absurd.
Thank you.
First person shooter. Let's go. Mario versus Sonic. Mario versus Sonic. Attack, fight to the death.
Maybe make it like paintball, and I could maybe see that coming.
No. Full on war. I would watch that. I would play the shit out of that.
Of the console wars brought back to life, except it's only Nintendo.
Call of Duty Mario versus Sonic. Let's fucking go.
Is that your OT? Is that your Is that your fan fiction?
I want a fucking Mario first person shooter. God damn it, that'd be fucking hilarious. I would play the shit out of that.
What about a golf crossover?
Nah, because Mario already does golf, and then they both have kart racers that are really good. I'm surprised they never did
Maybe
that.
a kart racer. Maybe you'll see that in the future. That might be.
I'd say fighting game, but Sonic's in Smash already, so that's already a thing.
Yeah, but will there ever be another Smash though? At this point.
Oh yeah, that prints money, Alex. Of course they will be.
Damn it! I hate those games. I'll probably get destroyed for saying that, but I don't like. I love fighting games, but I can't. I get so confused. It's confusing. I can't keep track of who. It's why I don't like racing games either, because I can't keep track of who I am.
You know, I will say though, like looking back at these games, like one of the things I really appreciated was the fact that like they really went out of their way to make unique games for each game. Like they literally did their homework and like actually brought in all the individual games, which is why I really wanted the France one, just so we could have had that wonderful experience. Yes.
I wish there was a sound.
Leave that poor woman alone.
No, I'm sorry, but you can't just go on TV and butcher France and be able to walk away with it. It will be your legacy forever.
Yeah, it's like how Ray Gun's legacy is whatever the fuck this is.
Oh,
like,
I hate that bitch. France.
Yeah. Yeah, so Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, that was an experiment. It is very much a relic to me of the Wii because, like, let's face it, no one gives a fuck about the ones after the Wii.
No. It was really, honestly...
Maybe the Switch one, just because it was unique, but...
The first three, I would have to say.
They're the ones that everyone remembers.
I would say probably the Switch one, too, a little bit. The real one as well. Mostly because I've seen many clips of them saying Eggman word.
That's not a good reason to remember it though.
I know, but people love it.
I'm talking like people.
I've seen many TikToks where someone goes, "What?" and then
See, people remember the first three fondly as games because they were perfect for the time.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Stop
But
dying. How are you
yeah.
gonna survive Friday?
Well, hopefully I'm better by Friday.
If not,
If
you'll
not,
have
it'll
to
be a
eat a
it'll
sandwich.
be a recording.
You'll eat a pepperoni sandwich. Just a
Sure.
pepperoni. That's it. One single
Um,
one. No
but yeah,
bread.
anything else you wanted to add? Or
um. Uh. Bill, I challenge you to nothing. Did you like my notes? Were my notes helpful?
I love how under the part where you talk about non-fungible tokens, in esports you wrote were both very hot in quotation marks.
That's what I quoted from the article. That's what they said. That was the person in it. Said very hot.
Well, I mean, sure.
I mean, at that time, yeah, NFTs were really big.
I love when like some tone deaf like influencers like comes out with an NFT now and it's like you're like very late to the party, bud.
Yeah, but also like they still managed to make a lot of money from them, which is
Yeah,
like,
and they
who the
ripped up
fuck
and
is
they ended up
buying these?
ripping off a lot of people.
Who's done? I'm sorry, but like at this point, with how many NFT scams there are, you're stupid if you like. You're an idiot. Like, why would you
My
do that?
my absolute favorite was like whenever someone really look at my NFT, it's mine, and someone just goes screenshot.
Those stupid monkey ones were probably the dumbest ones. Like the stupid
They were
apes.
all dumb. They
They
were
were all
all so.
ugly.
You're
Like
buying a fucking picture.
yeah.
It's a fucking picture.
Whoever made NFTs, you are the biggest scammer in the world.
Talk to a girl? No,
Yeah,
no, she's
all of
just
them are.
she's just stupid.
Yeah,
Like
well, don't buy NFTs, people.
I think she's still.
That's how we're leaving the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic
All
Games.
right,
Is just telling people don't buy NFTs.
let's be real here. With all of these YouTube like collapses and like these like internet celebrities like imploding, it is really baffling that out of all of these hilarious these people on the internet, like fucking Nikocado Avocado is coming out as like the most normal person right now.
Yep, it's a weird time.
Isn't that really weird how he's the normal one right now?
It's a weird world we live in. And it's even weirder because we no longer have Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Can you put some like sad music here? Like
I think you got it covered. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Ooh, I was starting to sound like the ghost, like from Halloween. Like, ooh.
All right. But anyways, guys, once again,
Thanks so much for watching the Gaming and Collecting.
thank you for joining us on the Gaming and Collecting Podcast. You can find the Gaming Collecting Podcast on all the major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple Podcast and Spotify. And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network. That is superpodnetwork.com. It's an awesome site where you can find all sorts of different podcast shows, vlogs, all sorts of fun stuff. You can also check out all the other shows there, including Superpod Saga, Super Ghost Radio, Retro Rehab, Tommy's Video Game Ride Along, a Novel Console, Bar Silence, Fine Time, the Elder Trolls Gaming Podcast, Remember 64, Gaming Together, Friday Night Gamecast, Gaming Together. That's very nice, Alex. The 3DO Experience, Geek Addicts, the Retro Wildlands, Press B to Cancel, the Pre-Order Bonus Podcast, and Retro Mo Video Game Reviews. And with that, everybody, Alex can come back now.
Fucking bitch! Why'd you mute me?
Because I had to get through my thing and I wasn't doing your shit.
No, my shit is part of the show. No, no one likes me. That's why you muted me. Is because no one likes me, isn't it? I hate that. Stop saying wobbling.
I didn't say anything. You said it.
You put the thingy up there. They can't see it because this is a non-video. Because I look like a crazy person. No waffles. Yeah, watch Attack on Titan.
I won't start watching it until you start Dragon Ball.
That's not fair.
I think it's perfectly fair.
No, that means I'm gonna have to start watching it soon. God fucking damn it. All right. Wait, you have to swear. Swear on the podcast that when I start watching Dragon Ball, you start watching Attack on Titan.
Sure.
Wait, no. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Yes, raise your stress ball and squeeze. I solemnly squeeze to watch Attack on Titan when Alex watches Dragon Ball.
Sure.
No, squeeze it in. There we go. You
Okay.
swore. You swore on
Whatever.
your house. I get your house if you don't do it.
Anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us. We will see you all later.
No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you won't.
Alex lives in your walls.
I do.